So yeah, thanks for coming out. My name is Leo. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Defang Software Labs. At Defang, we're radically simplifying the way you build cloud apps. You know, a lot of startups here, so you should appreciate this. Building a cloud app is still very hard. There's a lot of stuff you have to think about, like what is the architecture of your application, which infrastructure are you going to build on, which cloud are you going to use, and the choices you make now, are they still valid a year, 2 years down the road, or do you have to re-architect your app? So we're building the Defang Opinionated Platform that makes it very easy to start a cloud app. I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to do this with one hand, so let's see if this works. So we build this is a beta, and we have a command line app that allows you to start a project, and there's a generate function to start a skeleton project. And so here we're leveraging GPT to create that skeleton for you. And for this demo, I'm just going to build let's say, a music recommendation website. So you put an artist name and you get a few names of similar artists back. So that's running a machine learning model on our cloud, on our platform. I can type that in now, but I'll just press enter. But I have hard-coded hard-coded a prompt. So so use a Python library implicit to build a recommendation function in Python using a Flask API on /recommend. Takes an artist name, returns 10 similar artists. Train the model using a slice of data from get last.fm, implicit dataset last.fm. Okay, so GPT actually ran this right now. You do want to look at that file because the odds that it works from the first time are pretty small. So this is the file that GPT came up with. You know, it looks kind of okay, but I know for a fact there's a lot of fixes I have to do on this. And so I'll go back to, I have done those fixes earlier, and so this is the fixed version of it. Still the same, still has recommend and main in there. And so you go back to our CLI, and it says, it's done, do you want to deploy the project? And this is where we package the files that you have on your machine and we send it to our platform. And our platform has a rudimentary CI/CD, so continuous integration, continuous deployment. And that's running right now. So it takes those files that you have on your local machine and it finds out all the dependencies that it needs for that, and it packages all the artifacts. I didn't have to install anything on my local machine other than my own tool, Defang. All those dependencies are pulled on the platform right now. The platform, after bundling and building all those artifacts, it also deploys them. It deploys them to pre-provisioned secure environments like staging and production. Those are environments that the developer has no access to. Only our CI/CD system has access to those. And that prevents very simple attacks like phishing for credentials of a developer. You don't even have access to fraud. It also takes care of scaling up and scaling down depending on traffic. Takes care of cost optimization. If the app is not used, it scales down the resources that are allocated to this project. And finally, the app that you deploy will be resilient from the get-go. There's nothing you have to configure for it. Target groups, load balancing, everything is taken care of. Multiple clusters, replicas, all of that is done by us. And then finally, I think the real kicker is the app that you are building using the architecture that we propose is completely cloud agnostic. So it's currently going to AWS, but there's nothing in this app that is tied to AWS. You can move it to Azure, you can move it to your own data center if you wanted to. You're not locked to our platform. We are SaaS, but you have the ability to run it yourself. So we're still waiting for the deployment to finish. A lot of stuff is happening. We're creating all those security groups, target groups, load balancing rules. We're creating an SSL certificate. You get a URL after this process is done that you can immediately share with other people, and they can go to the website and look at your app and start using it right away. Here we go. This shouldn't take so long, but okay, it's beta after all. So now the deployment started, the first build step has completed. Now the deployment actually started, that is pretty fast. Now we're waiting. As you see, I did defang generate -- tail, so tail makes sure that I keep seeing the process as my app starts up. The app is starting right now, and I get a URL and I can open the website and we can see if the app works. This is actually like live, right? So the thing that I'm deploying has not been deployed yet. Let's see. Yeah, so all of this is built because we have built many, I was a contractor before, used to work at Microsoft, used to work on Workday. I've built many systems and I've seen a lot of teams struggling, big teams struggling to have like a resilient website. And so, yeah, so I'm rebuilding this platform to make it very easy for everybody. Oh, here we go. So I have a URL that I can click on. And let's do that. Oh, here we go, recommendation API. So give me an artist name, just to see this thing is actually alive. Anybody?
Drake.
Celine Dion?
Celine Dion.
Only Canadian artists, right?
Oh, there's an accent in there, right? Oh, okay. I don't know, does this look correct? Oliver Shank? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, this does seem correct. Oh, U2 is similar to U2, so okay. Yeah, so thanks for your attention. We have built this for startups. We're a startup ourselves. We have done this many times, and all the best practices that we have learned are in this platform, and it's really like that easy. We are focusing on the developer experience, and we want to be the easiest way to develop a resilient cloud apps. Thanks.
Questions?
Yeah, is this available to use or try today?
Yeah, we're in beta, so you sign up on our website. There's a sign-up form, which just sends me a message, but that is fine. And then we can chat. Yeah. So it's not for production, right? But yeah, if you want to play with it, totally.
Okay, and does it deploy the app into your own account or your account?
So our SaaS goes to our account, but we have a bring your own account kind of functionality planned soon. Yeah. So the model is this. There will be a core that is open source, and if you want to run it yourself, you don't have to bet your company on us being alive 10 years from now.
And how do you make sure that the infrastructure remains resilient? Like,
Well,
things may happen in the future. Okay, how do you update my, deployed application? After, for example, you found something glitched, you want to update your code, what happens to my code?
Okay, so your code is your code. We cannot go into your code. So the artifacts that we built are basically functions for images for functions, container images for each function. And so that's the level that we get from you, and that's the level that we do orchestration on. And our guarantee for resiliency comes from the fact that we deploy to multiple clusters and multiple clouds.
One more question?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the pricing?
So we are on top of the existing cloud providers, and so we do a markup on that. So it's consumption based.
Great.
Thanks.